The new Wheel of Fortune commander, Cheok Jun-Gyeong, has just been released on the official Rise of Kingdoms Facebook page, which means we can get a look at the skills for the very first time. So let's break everything down and figure out if this commander is going to be good or not. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and this video has been sponsored by the makers of Rise of Kingdoms. And today we've got to talk about this Wheel of Fortune commander who I got a quick look at his skills already, and I think he might just be designed to counter YSS. So let's review the skills. First up, active skill, 1,700 damage factor. Not particularly impressive, except there's a second part. If the target has been reduced to 30% of units remaining, then it deals an additional damage of 300 damage factor. So we're talking about 2,000 damage factor on an active skill. These days, I mean, you'd kind of expect something to be about that strong in an active skill. The thing that's significant about this is that it is countering kind of what YSS is doing. YSS makes it so that when you are below 50% strength, you get 20% extra damage. And you can have weak marches left over in the garrison that will make it count so that you could have less than 50% strength at the start of the fight. So this dude shows up and is going to start doing extra damage as well if they are below 30% of units remaining, which is definitely going to help deal with YSS garrisons if the rest of his kit is good enough. Let's figure that out. Infantry units led by this commander gain 40% increased attack. Now, increased attack I do not like. I mean, look, in the Season of Conquest, you already have tons of attack and there are diminishing returns on stats. I would much rather see defense or health, but okay. They also deal 5% increased damage against cavalry, so strong against Jadwiga if she's in the garrison, but take 5% more damage from archers. Okay, I mean, these infantry are going to do even more of what infantry do, which is counter cavalry and are weak to archers. Stalwart on the map. So this it cannot be in a resource node, cannot be in a garrison, but when you're on the map, troops led by this commander have a 40% chance to take 50% less skill damage. Hello. This damage reduction effect can trigger once every 4 seconds. So I assume that the way this works is that every time you take skill damage, if you have not already had this happen within 4 seconds, there is a 40% chance that you'll take 50% less skill damage, which is crazy. I mean, this is strongest against commanders that do infrequent skill damage. So when you are rarely taking skill damage so that you have nearly 100% uptime on this ability, right? Always having that 40% chance checking rather than being on cooldown is kind of amazing. But let's keep going before we evaluate those too much in depth. Let's look at the next skill here. Sacrifice makes it so that if troops led by this commander consist of only infantry units, well, okay, we'd expect to pull that off. They gain 15% march speed. Yeah, I like that. With a 100% chance of dealing 5% increased skill damage for 8 seconds. It's interesting they say 100% chance of dealing 5% increased skill damage. They should just say with 5% more skill damage, except there's more. This effect can trigger once every 4 seconds and can be stacked up to 8 times. Okay. So over the course of about 32 seconds, if you are attacking an enemy, directly targeting an enemy, you are going to be getting these stacks of increased skill damage. That's 40% increased skill damage. Wow. So for a rally or garrison, which is certainly going to last longer than 32 seconds, I guess really only rallies, you wouldn't use them in garrison. For a rally situation, this is going to give 40% more skill damage. That is a lot of skill damage, especially if you had, a way to get more skill damage out of the deal. I mean, this dude only has one ability so far that does skill damage, but let's just check the expertise. Vow to the death. While on the map, troops led by this commander have 40% chance. Oh, wait. This is modifying the skill up over here, the on-the-map skill, Stalwart. Okay. While on the map, troops led by this commander have a 40% chance to get incoming skill damage reduced by 50%. Okay, that's the same. And deal skill damage, this is new, to up to 3 enemy targets in a fan-shaped area. Now, I love AoE, but it's only damage factor of 50? Honestly, this is more of a liability than anything else. Okay, and damage from this attack is reduced by 15% per additional target. This ability can trigger once every 3 seconds. So the biggest part of this is, yeah, you get a little skill damage, but it's also reducing the cooldown for this to trigger to now be every 3 seconds. So every 3 seconds, I mean, if it's not already on cooldown, there's going to be a check here to see if you're going to reduce skill damage taken by 50% and do a little AoE damage. And that AoE damage is, I guess, relevant to countering other skills like Vow to the Death. I don't know. I feel like it only enhances things like, not that Wu Zetian is meta, but commanders like Wu Zetian or that have the support tree, that every time they're taking skill damage, there's actually a chance that they become more tanky. But all in all, his kit is certainly intriguing. Infantry and attack with versatility are the talent trees that are available here, which is certainly very limiting. I mean, he's useful in the open field, but he seems like perhaps he will be a rally commander, but I wonder if he's really got what it takes. It could just be that reducing the skill damage is so much tankiness that it doesn't matter that he's not giving you defense. It doesn't matter that he's not giving you health. He's got all single target damage from his active skill anyways, 2,000 damage factor, and that might just be enough punch and enough skill damage boost to get the job done. Let's go look at who some of the pairs might be for this commander. We're going to go through all the infantry just really quickly since I am kind of looking at this for the first time. But given that he reduces skill damage taken and boosts his skill damage, you're going to want a commander that obviously does lots of skill damage. So I think that Constantine, Richard I, Charles Martel are all immediately removed from the equation. Alexander the Great does skill damage, but he's more focused on shields. Like, he would be fine as a pair in the open field, but I'm not in love with it. You got a lot of movement speed, which is nice, but I feel like we can find a better pair, especially from a rally standpoint. I feel like there's probably more that we can do here. If we look at Guan Yu, ooh, oh God, a secondary commander to Guan Yu? Man, that would be gross. That would be gross. So Guan Yu is doing just a massive amount of damage factor and silencing. That is kind of gross. Increases the march speed and also the attack. And also you've got the additional damage factor over here, which benefits from the skill damage boost. Man. So Guan Yu wanted tankiness. Damage taken reduction or skill damage taken reduction is really good. Those two could do a lot of damage together, and I really much prefer the talents on Guan Yu as the primary. Now, what will you do with your Alexander the Great, who you were pairing with Guan Yu, or your Leonidas? See, that's the weird thing. I don't know that I would displace that Guan Yu-Leo combo. They are just married together, man. If you're using Leo, you put him with Guan, and that just makes a ton of sense to me. But if you weren't using Leo, a secondary to Guan here could be very, very strong. But what about Harold? Oh my gosh. Harold does skill damage. Harold wants to take less damage. Could you use Harold Sigurdsson primary with the new Wheel of Fortune commander as the secondary? I feel like the two would be a little bit squishy together, given that neither of them have any defensive stats. In fact, Harold is going to take away your defensive capability, but the counterattack is going to be massive. The skill damage boost is going to be kind of nuts. Like, Harold Sigurdsson does insane amounts of skill damage. That could be the insane glass cannon march that it doesn't matter that it just gets completely rolled. It's doing so much skill damage as it dies and counterattack damage as it dies that it might just be overwhelming anyways. Whoa. That could be certainly a compelling combo. Other infantry commanders, okay, Trajan is not infantry. He does boost skill damage, but he doesn't really do a lot of skill damage. He is very tanky. I don't know that these two would be a bad combo, but it's also not really what I would be looking to accomplish. I mean, the thing that's really synergistic about Trajan with this new commander is, yeah, Trajan is going to boost the skill damage that you deal. He also is going to make you take some extra damage, but I mean, he's already very tanky, and the new commander going to reduce your skill damage taken by a lot. I don't know. It's a combo to watch. I guess because the new commander needs only infantry, that's probably something you would steer away from. You got to use mixed troops with Trajan. All right, forget the Trajan. That doesn't work. I've just talked myself out of it. Leonidas, I don't think makes a ton of sense as a pair. I mean, Leonidas will be fine. He is bringing all of the tankiness that the new commander wants. He does do skill damage, but just not enough of it, I feel like, to really benefit in the way that you'd want. Speed of rage gained is great. The damage boost is really great. I feel like it would be a fine combination, but not totally gangbuster. Oh, hey, kiddo. What do you think of the new commander? Can you say Cheok Jun-Gyeong?
Yeah.
You say Cheok?
No.
That was worth a shot. The thing I guess I'm struggling with is who to pair the new commander with. Yes, he's going to be good for single target damage. Maybe the amount of damage they're listing from the AoE is less than what it actually is. That's a tiny amount of damage factor. I mean, he's all about reducing the skill damage you take and dishing out more skill damage. Let's go look at that kit again. 2,000 damage factor when the target is low. We're looking at 40% attack, extra damage to calves, and take more damage from archers. We're looking at chance to take way less skill damage, but it can trigger only so frequently. That also does a little bit of AoE damage tied to it, a tiny amount, 50 damage factor, 3 targets in a fan-shaped area. And you also have extra march speed and boost to your own skill damage. I mean, I think the thing that you're looking for, when we look at all the different commander options here, I mean, I really do think Guan Yu seems like a really great choice. It gives Guan Yu a little bit of tankiness, but also you do a ton of damage. And, okay, on the topic of a little bit of tankiness and a ton of damage, I mean, I would be looking into Herald and I would be looking into Guan Yu. But what am I missing here? Let me know down below in the comments. Are there other pairings that we should be considering? What do you think this commander is going to be great for? I think in general, March speed is promising for the open field, but effects that take a long time to build up generally point me more toward like a rally situation, especially this hitting weaker targets, a sort of component of the active skill, leads me to think that he's perhaps designed to be used for a rally. But time will tell, my friends. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.